All right, gang, we're talking about some awesome tester deals today. I went through online websites at discounters and found some really great deals to talk to you guys about. This is part of my weekly series on great deals on fragrances you can find online. And if you're looking for something that you've been trying to find at a good deal, I'm going to talk to you about those deals right now. So this is a discount fragrances video. Awesome deals. Most of these, 99.9% of these are testers. I threw in one regular fragrance that I found that I wanted to highlight from a brand I don't speak too much about, but that's at the very end. So let's get started with the list. But before I go through the fragrances, I just put up a quick Instagram reel announcing ScentFest SF there again. And the show is, as far as exhibitors goes, it's like 99.9% sold out. There's probably like one or two 2x2 counters left. So it's turning out to be a really awesome first edition. And I'm very excited that we accomplished so much in 3 months with the show. We announced it on March 8th. So it's just around 3 months later that the show is kind of full, and we're expecting 2,000 to 3,000 people, attendees, and you'll be able to experience over 100 brands. I think we have around 110 brands, and that's not including other activations that we have going on at the show. So if you haven't gotten your ScentFest SF tickets yet, please do. It's going to be an amazing, very memorable first show, and we're going to continue doing it every year. So I hope to see you guys at ScentFest SF. Again, get your tickets. There's some still, I think we just opened up a few more VIP tickets. So you can get a daily VIP pass that gets you in 2 hours early with trade media content creators. That's open to the general public. And then there's also the general admission tickets that are from 12 to 6. If you get the VIP passes, you can get in at 10, 2 hours early, and it's not going to be as crowded. And again, Amouage is going to be there as part of our scent sessions, the panels, and there'll be 5 to 6 panels or talks every day. There's one that Renaud from Amouage is also going to do. So if you wanted to ever hear him speak, now's your chance. Plus, don't forget the Osmotech and also the algorithmic perfumery, where you can be able to create your own fragrance. So we've got some awesome things happening at our first show. I hope to see you guys there. Let's get started with the list. First fragrance is Mancera's Cedrat Boise. 120 ml tester for $65. It's a great freshie. You can use it all summer long. This is not the intense. This is the original, so it's lighter. It doesn't go as leathery in the dry down as the original does. But the original, what I like about Mancera Cedrat Boise in comparison to the Aventus, you do experience more of a fruity pulpiness. And in comparison to the Aventus, it's a bit sharper, it's a bit woodier, a little screechier. And it depends on the batch, I guess. I don't care. I mean, I don't look up the batch codes on Aventus. If I want something Aventus-like, I would pull for, and if I want it to be fruity and pulpy and juicy, I would pull for Mancera's Cedrat Boise. I've been preferring the intense a little bit more because it is more intense. But I feel like the original, the OG, has been around. It's very popular. It's really great for summer. And it's a great freshie. And you'll notice the fruitiness of the citruses. It's pulpy. It's juicy. Super refreshing. And the DNA is great. So it smells really, really fantastic. I'm actually a fan of this DNA, although I don't consider it to be like one of the all-time best fragrances ever created. But the way it smells, it's a great everyday fragrance. You'll smell great. People will compliment what you're wearing. And it's a really great DNA. I really love it. So Mancera's Cedrat Boise, the original 120 ml tester for $65. So that's a great price. All the fragrances are timestamp tagged. And when I'm talking about a fragrance, you can go through the chapters. And at that moment I'm talking about that fragrance, you can actually go through YouTube shopping and buy the fragrances wherever retailer I tag to. So the next fragrance is from the house of Xerjoff, Torino 21. We've got a 50 ml for $125. So it's a tester. It's a great price. And this is also a great scent, but nothing like Cedrat Boise. This is minty, lemony, also verbena, like lemon verbena. So you've got a very aromatic experience against all of the lemony juiciness. It's not super tart, but there's a tart, sweet tart effect happening. It's also quite green and aromatic, so it's very, very refreshing. And it smells great in the heat. It smells really, really wonderful in the heat. To me, also, it reminds me of lemon tea. Lemon mint tea, I should say. So it's minty. It's also very aromatic with other aromatic herbs. And of course, you've got a very nice combo of juicy citruses and green aromatic herbs to create a great scent for summer. Let me know if you guys are a fan. I think it's the best one in the series, the 2021. The last one just came out last year, the 2025. I think that's the last from what I heard. I have a conversation with Sergio Momo, and he spoke that the last year's edition was the last edition. So let's move on. But before I move on, Xerjoff Torino 21, 50 ml for 125. But we are moving on to Acqua di Parma, another freshie here. This is Colonia C.L.U.B, C.L.U.B, with dots between the letters for club. This is a very unique green aromatic freshie. What I like about this one is the highlight of shiso note. Do you guys know what shiso is? To me, shiso is an herb. It's an aromatic green note. And it has, I feel like it's a bit minty. It's a bit sage-like. I'm sorry, not sage, basil-like. So it's kind of got those kind of qualities combined together for its unique signature smell. And that's what they're capitalizing on here. They're taking the original Colonia, and it's called Colonia C.L.U.B, and they're adding this unique twist with the shiso note in here. So it's very fresh, it's green, it's aromatic, but it isn't eau de cologne compared to the Torino 21 versus Colonia C.L.U.B. You can actually, when you spray these on and you have both, you can experience the texture of the fragrance, whereas the Xerjoff is a lot more pulpy, fruity, thicker, and the Colonia C.L.U.B is thinner because it is an eau de cologne, but it is also very inexpensive, 100 ml for 65. Then you got the Mancera also, which is 120 ml for 65. And it depends what you want. You want something thicker. The Mancera Cedrat Boise will be thicker than the Colonia C.L.U.B, but this unique smell is kind of very unique, I think. So it's very fresh. It's thinner. It's a cologne style fragrance because it is part of the series Colonia C.L.U.B. I think it is, yeah, it's an eau de cologne as it says in the bottom here. So that's what it is. But if you like the idea of the shiso note, minty, basil-like, maybe a few other aromatic herbal notes mixed together to create this unique shiso smell, then I would try this one. 100 ml for $65. That's Acqua di Parma's Colonia C.L.U.B. And then we've got Creed's Viking Cologne Tester, 100 ml for $215. $215. I do have to clarify, guys, if you don't know testers and you've never bought testers, you have to double check to make sure it comes with a cap, because sometimes they do not come with a cap. The reason they don't come with a cap, the testers, is because they're trying to prevent from somebody selling them as legit. Well, these are legit, basically. Testers are, when a store buys fragrances to sell, they also buy testers at half or 3/4 less of the price, because basically, the customers are spraying. That's what testers are. So they're legit product, and I buy testers all the time because sometimes I don't want the presentation. I don't mind not having the presentation. I just want the bottle, and 9 out of 10 times it does come with a cap, but sometimes it does not come with a cap. So be warned about that. Especially for more luxury products like Creed. So double check. But Viking Cologne is 100 ml for $215. And this is actually a pretty solid Creed, actually. It's a very modern fougere vibes. And Creed fragrances are also more expensive in general than other things. So this is pricey for $215. But I really love this smell. If you like fragrances like Fougere Royale, maybe the discontinued Amouage Bracken Man, Tom Ford's Beau de Jour, this Viking Cologne is awesome. I really love that about it. Very classy, very masculine. We've got Father's Day around the corner. I think it will make a great gift. But just keep in mind, it's a tester, so you're not going to get this packaging with it. But as far as the smell goes, the stuff is awesome. I thought that there was some controversy, but it might have been with the original Viking. Whoops, we are crashing here. Yeah, Creed's fragrances have all these little things in there. So as I was popping that bottle back in there, it was not fitting in. I think there was a little bit of a controversy with the original Viking, but I can't remember what it was when it first came out back in like 2018 or 2017 when it came out. But I like both. I kind of prefer the Viking cologne a little bit more. To me, it's a bit more fougere-like than the original Viking, although Viking is also pretty fougere-like. But to me, the Viking cologne does go a bit more traditional styling for a fougere, a barbershop, but still very modern. Anyway, that's Viking cologne, 100 ml for $2.15. Now, this next fragrance, I don't know what the status is. I did report on this a while ago that this brand was dropped by Inter Parfums. This is Dunhill. And 10 years ago, Dunhill Icon was one of the most talked about men's fragrances in the fragrance community. And since Inter Parfums dropped Dunhill, I don't know who's producing their fragrances, if at all. So I found 100 ml for $40 testers of Dunhill Icon. If you're a fan of this style, get it. It's, to me, a green citrus with a lot of vetiver and notes like that. Plus, you've got peppery touches, but you have citruses. It's a dry fragrance, and I feel like you've got the green leaves of the orange tree in here. It's that kind of a smell. I like it because it's a bit astringent with the tartness of the citruses, but it's also nicely balanced with grassy woods like vetiver and other woody notes. And of course, the peppery spices come in as well. To me, if you like fragrances like Lalique's White, to me, it's kind of similar to that, but I feel like it's amped up with the vetiver. To me, it's also kind of in the same sort of styling, but not smell-wise, to something like Terre de Hermes. Maybe Narciso Rodriguez, for him, Blue Noir, but the original, those kind of fragrances. But this one has a lot more prominent citruses and also green leafy citruses. It's a great scent. I don't know what's going on with it. It's a classy masculine offering. So again, I don't know if they're producing this. I don't know what's happening. If anybody has any idea, let us know. Let me know. But I know they got dropped by Inter Parfums, which was the distributor of this brand. So there's some uncertainty out there. And if you have been wanting a bottle tester for $40 is a great deal. This is Dunhill's Icon, 100 ml for $40. So get yourself a bottle before it runs out. Now, I did a video yesterday, and I've been talking about this brand. I'm doing a little segue here. I mentioned, I don't know what the deal is with Orlov Paris, but it's funny. I mentioned it, and I think they're listening to me on my Instagram account, because all of a sudden I get a pop-up of Orlov Paris exhibiting at Aix-en-Provence, which was just happening. And so sure enough, they're still around, but I didn't even know that they were still, I mean, I don't know what happened, because I was following the brand, and I looked at the brand on Instagram, and it says follow back. So did they unfollow everybody, or did they have everybody unfollowed somehow, and then they followed everybody back? I'm not sure, but they are still in production. But I've been talking about some of their very inexpensive fragrances. I talked about them yesterday in a haul video. These are fairly inexpensive, anywhere from $25 to $35 being cleared. So most likely they have some new fragrances that they're working with. I don't know, but apparently they're still in business. So just giving you a heads up on that. So let's move on to the house of Montale. It's Oudmazing. It's a tester for $65 for 100 ml. This is one of my favorite Montales. If you like patchouli, if you like fruity, if you like, sparkling kind of fruity, earthy, warm, kind of ambery, plus oud, because this one also has oud, then you're definitely going to enjoy this one. To me, it reminds me like a combo of La Vie est Belle, the patchouli kind of warm vanilla, and also maybe Coco Mademoiselle together. Maybe distantly thinking of something like Mugler Angel, but I think Mugler Angel is pretty different than what this smells like. It's more like La Vie est Belle and Coco Mademoiselle. Then you're probably going to like this with the addition of that slight oody funk, but it's not animalic or anything like that. It's definitely a westernized oud, but to me, it adds this depth to the fragrance because you have fruits in here. It's figs. I think there's pear, there's the patchouli, there's the warm earthiness of the notes in the base. And then, of course, you got some sweetness in there. I definitely think it's awesome. It's got great trail. If you like trail in fragrances, try it. 100 ml for 65 is a great deal on this one. It's Oudmazing. I've spoken about it quite a bit, and I discovered it kind of late. It's figgy, it's fruity, but not green. So just keep that in mind. If you like green and you like less fruits from the fig, then this is not green as much. It's more of the fruits. But the combination is great. And that reminder of La Vie est Belle and Coco Mademoiselle is awesome with this fragrance. So that's Oudmazing from Montale, 100 ml for 65. And then we've got Zadig and Voltaire's This Is Him, the original. I spoke a lot about this one, quite a bit. It's a Nathalie Lorson creation, and one of the best fragrances she's created, I think, and definitely solid offering from a designer that's not very well known in the States. I don't see any physical stores. No, I think we had a physical store for Zadig and Voltaire here, but it's not one of those big brands. It's a French brand, and they keep launching like a lot of flankers for this series. This Is Him, and then they also have This Is Her. They've had This Is Love. You name it, they're just capitalizing on it. But this is 100 ml for 41 bucks. If you don't know it, check it out. This is vanilla sandalwood. It's dry, it's dusty, it's a little peppery as well. So maybe this came out way before Baby Cat. I think the theme might be kind of similar. It might have a little bit of smokiness in there as well from incense, but it doesn't act like Baby Cat. But I think the idea might be a bit similar. So it's peppery, spicy, vanillic, woody, creamy, slight bit citruses thrown in there as well. I think there's some grapefruit, but it's a great classy men's fragrance, but more on the vanillic, warm, woody side and spicy side. 41 bucks for 100 ml. I think it's definitely a great offering if you're trying to save money on fragrances when fragrances are getting so expensive. I feel like that's a solid offering. And, you know, we're going into summer, so summer is probably not the season for you to wear it. I have no problem with it myself. I will. But I feel like that's a great, great, great autumn fragrance. So you'll have a bottle just in time for autumn. It's warm, as I said, spicy, vanillic, and you've got woods in there as well. So This Is Him by Zadig and Voltaire. 100 ml for 41 bucks. Great price. It's a tester, so it won't come with the box, by the way. All right, next we're going to the house of Boucheron. It's Jaipur. I spoke about this recently, and this is one of my favorite 90s fragrances for the guys. Created by Annick Menardo. Really love her creations. It's Jaipur Homme. I think it was initially called Jaipur Pour Homme. Now they've dropped it to Homme. I don't know. I thought that there was that technicality. It used to be. But anyway, this is 100 ml for 30 bucks. It is a bit old school. To me, it has like old school fougere vibes, but warmed up and modernized for that era of the mid to late 90s with lots of warm spices, vanillic ambery notes. It smells fantastic, by the way. So I feel like they've covered up the fougere vibes with warm spices and amber and vanillic notes. Because when you smell it, behind all that warmth and spices, vanilla, amber, there is a bit of a DNA of a fougere. So to me, it acts a bit like an amber fougere, but it smells great. It's by a legendary perfumer, Annick Menardo. She's created so many amazing fragrances. This was probably the prime of her career. Like she did Boss Bottled, she did Bulgari Black, this, all around the same time. 3 awesome fragrances, sadly, but 2 of them are still on the market. Bulgari Black got discontinued, but this is so nice and warm. This is also more like autumn winter fragrance, but if you like the classics a little bit and you like warm spices, vanilla amber together, you gotta try this. This is an awesome, awesome scent. I'm still so glad it's still in the market. So this sells for 30 bucks, 100 ml. It's a tester, so you're not getting a box with that as well. So let's move on to a more expensive fragrance from the house of Gucci. This is a Gloaming Night. This one right here. A Gloaming Night is part of the Alchemist Garden, and it's currently, as a tester, 100 ml for $154. These retail for over $400 for the... Whoa, I just sprayed myself. For the original suggested retail price with box. So that's a great savings on that. Really, really great savings. What I like about this one, it's patchouli. The patchouli prominent fragrance from this house is a Gloaming Night. But this is also warmed up with cinnamon. I think there's a very cinnamony spice in there and maybe a little bit of rose, but it smells really, really great. I find the collection from Gucci's Alchemist Garden not to be the super deep and complex offerings. They do have a lighter quality about them, but this particular fragrance, because it has that patchouli and has the warm spices, it has a great lingering power. But sure, it's not going to project really loud, but it smells really, really great. It's warm, spicy, and earthy, woody. So a Gloaming Night, that is currently $154 for 100 ml. It's a great price. Normally that's over $400. Again, you're not going to get the box. The box and presentation is really awesome. Although I should say the Alchemist Garden packaging has been really downsized and gotten compact. It doesn't come with a little baggie it used to come with. The boxes are smaller. They're not as big and wide. So that's also a good thing. But still, the prices are going up. So if you're in the market for something like this, for the idea of this warm, spicy, earthy, definitely try it. It's a Gloaming Night from the House of Gucci and the Alchemist Garden collection. $154 for 100 ml. Let's move on to the House of Juliette Has a Gun. We've got Musc Invisible next. This is also fairly inexpensive, 100 ml for $55 as a tester. And Musc Invisible is quite powdery. And it's kind of like the name. It's an invisible musk. It's a skin scent. But you have baby powder qualities. And it's super sexy. It's very cozy. Perfect bed scent too. Or if you want something minimalistic and you love the idea of powdery musks, this definitely works. One of the better ones. I feel like the brand was launching some great scents for a while. I haven't been keeping up with the brand. Although their new banana actually was pretty decent, and I'm not the biggest fan of banana fragrances, so I don't have a bottle. I'm have to look to find a good deal on that one. But this is a really awesome musk. I love it. It kind of lightly reminds me of a less animalic. If you consider Kiehl's original musk animalic, I think it's a little bit of a less animalic version. I don't find it animalic at all, but I've heard from you guys, you think it's a bit animalic. But yeah, it's powdery. It's nice. It's a kind of creamy, cozy, and very musky skin scent. So it's Musc Invisible from the House of Juliette Has a Gun. 100 ml for $55. Now this fragrance is more expensive here, but it is a tester, and normally these are around $300. This is Tabac Noir from Caron. 100 ml for $175. It's a tester. It comes in a pretty giant box, so you won't be getting the box. But the smell to me is also not Tabac Exquis. It's a bit different than that. To me, it reminds me a little bit of, what's it called? From Serge. It'll come to me. To me, it's a tobacco, honeyed, and a bit musky. And I love that about it. It's just got a nice warm funk to it. But you have the slight smokiness from the tobacco and also a little bit of turkey. What am I saying? I think the fragrance I'm thinking of from Serge Lutens is something to do with the theme of Turkey. Hold on one sec. Yes, the fragrance I connect this fragrance to is Fumeri Turk from Serge Lutens. I find similarities. They're different though, but I think the ideas are similar. Slightly smoky, leafy tobacco leaves with honey. That's what you have here. Both are great. The honey comes off slightly animalic and musky, so be warned about that. And it's not Tabac Blonde, which is the fragrance that was launched in the early 1900s by Caron. It's also not Tabac Exquis. So this is Tabac Noir. So it's a honeyed, warm, lightly smoky, and leafy tobacco. But it's really awesome. It's a great scent. And these are around $300. So 100 ml for $175 is a great price, I think. But just keep in mind, you're not getting full presentation. It's the bottle only. And speaking of Caron, guys, and I mentioned Tabac Blonde. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Tabac Blonde. It's the probably premier signature best offerings from the brand of Caron, if you're not thinking of Pour un Homme de Caron. The Osmotech, which is going to be present at our show, ScentFest SF, will be presenting a original formulation of Tabac Blonde that you can smell. This is probably what the brand is known for outside of Caron, Pour un Homme de Caron. So speaking about the Tabac series, Caron has like 4 or 5 Tabac focused fragrances, but Tabac Blonde is from the early 1900s, And if you attend ScentFest SF, you'll be able to smell the original formulation of Tabac Blonde. I actually did a video for Tabac Blonde. The current formulation in a bottle like this, the original is much better, and you'll be able to smell it. So anyway, that is Tabac Noir from Caron. It's 100 ml for $175. Check it out. We've got another fragrance from Montale here. It's Arabians Musk, and I think Montale has had pretty success with Arabians Tonka, so they are now making flankers. But I feel like this, to me, doesn't smell anything like the Arabians Tonka. So it's different. It's a super powdery. If you thought Musk Invisible was powdery, which it is, the way the Arabian's Musk comes off is so powdery and dense. There's an airiness about the Juliette has a gun. This one is thick and dense. So you'll pick up like baby butt powder qualities. You'll also pick up some honey touches, maybe a little bit of rosiness in there as well. But if you like powdery offerings, super honeyed, rosy, cozy, it smells really great. It smells nothing like Arabians Tonka though. It's funny, Arabians, the original, I didn't care for. Arabians Tonka, I really loved. And I also really like this one too. It's super cozy. Like I found musky fragrances, which this is, powdery fragrances, which this is, very cozy. This is not animalic whatsoever. Maybe there's some light traces of it under there, but to me it's super cozy and really great to wear. 100 ml for $75. That's a tester. Normally those sell for around $200. I think like $190 or $195 for 100 ml suggested retail price. So next we're going to the house of Acqua. It's smoke, my favorite still from the house. 100 ml tester for $77. That's a great price for that. And it's funny, I discovered that in LA at Scent Bar in DTLA, and I had sampled it like a few months earlier in Paris. Didn't think twice about it, but for me, this fragrance totally shined in the heat. It's smoky. It smells really charred, smoky. And just imagine a thinner take on tobacco vanille with a lot of smoke added to it. And that's what I get with this one. It really smells burned and smoked. But it eventually settles to more like an amber, and you have that kind of ambery experience because there's benzoin here, so it comes off a bit vanillic. So it's a great smoky fragrance, really super smoky, tobacco-ish, kind of vanillic warm with the benzoin, ambery in the base. It smells great, and I wear it on its own. Acqua fragrances to me seem not so thick and dense, so they're a bit easier to layer with. This one does layer with tobacco vanille. If you thought about boosting up your tobacco vanille with some smokiness, and since it has a similar DNA in the base, you can totally do that with this. Add that smoke to tobacco vanille. It also intensifies it, but it doesn't clash because they smell completely different. So this is great. It's still my favorite. 100 ml for $77. Acqua's smoke. Those retail for about $190 suggested retail. So that's also a great price for a tester. No box for it. Keep that in mind. Then we're going to Givenchy Gentleman, the original, another classic fragrance. And this is $35 for 100 ml in a tester. This to me, next to the Boucheron, is one of my all-time favorite classic men's fragrances. I love this. This one is animalic. Just keep that in mind. It's so good though. So good. It's musky, it's earthy, it's patchouli, it's spices and aromatics, has a little bit of a barbershop-y edge to it, but it's so good. If you've ever smelled the fragrance Ligno from Jeroboam, I feel like Ligno from Jeroboam is kind of like a modern take on this fragrance. But man, this is one of the best, and so awesome that it's still in the market. I absolutely love this fragrance. And it's $30 for the tester on that one. I'm sorry, $35 for 100 ml. It's a great price. Just keep in mind, it's old school. So it's not, like, if you're not into old school fragrances, you're probably not going to like that one. Let's move on to Tiziana Terenzi. It's Arrakis, 100 ml for $160. Super thick, super intense X-ray concentration fragrance that's sort of similar to, whoa, it's also pretty dark. The juice is kind of dark. It's also sort of similar to two fragrances. One from Mancera called Red Tobacco, and one from Marley called Carlisle. I believe that's the one that it reminds me of. Carlisle to me comes off super smooth. On the other side is Montale's Red Tobacco, which is really, really rough. This sits right in the middle, I think. It's not as smooth as the Parfums de Marly, but it's also not as rough as the Red Tobacco. But it's also really, really concentrated, super, super intense. It's an extrait of parfum. Between the two others, this version is so, so potent, so in your face. A little goes a long way. It's tobacco, it's amber, it's spices, it's maybe light fruits in there, and ambery notes and things like that. But it is so super thick and very, very highly concentrated. A little goes a long way. So this is 100 ml for $160. Normally this is over $400. So it's a great, great tester price. I highly recommend this one. If you are a fan of Carlisle, Red Tobacco, you want something slightly bit different, but you want to keep it in the same family of styles, definitely get Arrakis, because it is really, really super, super intense. Like, it is only necessary to do 2 sprays of that one. It's nuclear. Anyway, that is Arrakis from the house of Tiziana Terenzi, 100 ml for $160. So yeah, it is more than $100, but you're getting pretty much a fragrance that's normally over $400 for $160. So it's a great price. Now we're going to something a bit more classic. It is actually called Classic. This is Boise 1920 Classic 1920. Are you guys familiar with this one? This to me is just a freshie, kind of like a intensified a little bit eau de cologne style freshie with citruses and aromatics and herbs and things like that. Simple, straightforward. There's a slight creaminess in there as well. It's not super sharp, but it acts kind of cozy. It's fresh, invigorating, refreshing, and there are some touches of some green aromatics. And I also feel like there's a little bit, I think there's lavender in here, but also I feel like there's violet leaves. It's giving me those kind of like ozonic kind of vibes with it. So this is 100 ml for $75. Boise 1920 Classic 1920. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that one or not. Now this brand, I don't know what's going on with it. Just like the Dunhill, I don't know, they're a little bit uncertain right now. Same thing with this brand. I think this brand is kind of fizzling away. This is Hermetica, and I have recommended Source One quite a bit. You can get 100 ml for $95. It's a great minimalistic fragrance to wear on itself. It's kind of musky. It's also kind of I think Source One is a primer. So you basically use it to boost up other fragrances. It's 100 ml for $95. I've recommended this one in my videos. You can search the channel. But I kind of didn't ever click with the brand. In fact, Bloomingdale's had a whole setup of this brand. And finally, they took it away because I don't think it really caught on. But Source One, to me, it's ambery. It's a bit citrusy and fresh. So you can wear it on its own minimalistically for a musk. It's musky. And it's called Source One because you're able to use it to boost up their other fragrances. And you don't have to boost up specifically Hermetica fragrances. You can boost up any fragrances you have. The thing with the Hermetica fragrances also, you can rub it. It's got some kind of a technology. I think the fragrances are all linear, so you don't have a top, heart, and a base note. So you're not going to burn away the top notes if you're rubbing your hands, which, again, people are uptight about things like that. I don't have a problem. You do what you want to do. It's your fragrance. There's no rules. But with this fragrance, that's how it is. So you can rub it all in. It's also kind of moisturizing, and then spray something on top. But on its own, I think it's a really awesome scent. It smells great. And it's musky, it's ambery, woody, and definitely something minimalistic skin scent. So I highly recommend that one. Get it if you can, because I think the brand's fizzling away. It's a sister house to Memo Paris. And also, what's the other brand they have? I always forget the name of that brand. It's the Japanese, it's over there. So the other brand is Floricu. I always forget the name because they're also not very represented here, but I feel like Floricu is a lot more popular than Hermetica. I think maybe the brand Memo Paris decided to just go way too big all of a sudden with 2 new brands. I don't know. But I think this brand is on its way out. I do recommend Source One. Get it for 100 ml 95. It's a great minimalistic fragrance as a skin scent or a layering tool. So let's move on to the next fragrance. It's Montblanc's Vetiver Glacier, 120 ml for $60. These are selling for around $150, $160. I'm recommending this one because I think it's a great deal. It's another Nathalie Lorson creation. It's kind of a frozen vetiver, if you like the idea of a frozen vetiver. It's called Vetiver Glacier. Yeah, there's some ice cold qualities about it. And you know, what's her name? Nathalie Lorson did Ancre Noir, so she's known for vetiver. This doesn't smell too much like Ancre Noir. Maybe the vetiver itself does. But this is definitely got that frozen quality, but there's also a little bit of a musky quality in here. And the vetiver has that earthiness, grassiness, and a little bit of, there's a pencil shavings quality that comes in as well from the vetiver. So it's dry, but also a bit wet, frozen, kind of cool and crisp, and also a little bit musky for sure. I do get some musk from this one. What are your thoughts? Have you tried it? Vetiver Glacier, it's 120 ml for 60. So it's not 100 ml. You're getting 20 ml more juice for 60 bucks. So that's a good price for that. And then I'm going to end the last two testers and then one regular fragrance. But last two testers I'm talking about are Mancera, which are two of my favorites from the house. 100 ml for $100 for the For Your Love. To me, For Your Love shines in the heat, guys. I love this fragrance. It has kind of similarities to Baccarat Rouge, but it's a totally different fragrance because this one has a fruitiness from raspberry. It has a lot of muskiness and also patchouli and amber, like a resinous amber from benzoin. But on skin, it projects and the heat kind of amplifies it. You get a trail, a nice trail. It has amber woods like ambroxan and things like that, but more proprietary to Firmenich. So they're not quite ambroxan, I think. They're different names, but they act similarly. But to me, this is so solid, so awesome. I love wearing it. It smells fantastic. If you don't know For Your Love, check it out. 100 ml for $100 is a great price on that because those are normally like 280 or 260. And then this next one is my new second favorite of this house. I love this one. I discovered it at Printemps and I bought it online at a discount, but now there's a tester for 95 bucks. This is Legend Leather from Mancera. 100 ml for 95 is a great price on this. Get it right away. It's something that I really enjoy. It's leathery, but there's something sexy underneath it, and I think he's Alberto Morillas is the perfumer. He's filled it up with musks, so it doesn't act super thick, but it has kind of similar presence on skin. It has great projection, so you get the leatheriness, but you get this kind of very loudly projecting kind of musky ambery notes or amber woods notes, and that's kind of what I like about it. It's different than For Your Love. It doesn't have any fruitiness, but it has the leather, it has amber woods, and great longevity and projection as well. And this is also similar with For Your Love, probably around $280 for 100 ml, and it's 95 bucks for a tester. I highly recommend it. Of course, like I say, testers don't come with packaging, so you're probably only going to get the bottle itself, but we're just going after the juice with testers. Okay, that's the last of the testers, and I've got one regular fragrance here. It's 100 ml for $85. This is Carner Barcelona's Botafumeiro. Botafumeiro. This is full presentation, so it's not a tester, but it's also like 200 something for this regular suggested retail, and this is 85 bucks, so get it. It's an amber once again. It's a spicy kind of balsamic take on amber with a lot of peppery notes. You've got like peppery spices. You can totally smell the peppery spices. And at one time I didn't care for this one. They have another amber which I reviewed. This one, there was a while peppery notes rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know what it was, but now I've embraced them. I enjoy them. So I like the contrast of the warm resinous balsamic notes of the amber accord with that peppery spice that really kind of cuts through that warmth. It's great, actually. If you like peppery notes with amber, resins, vanilla, balsamic notes, you would really enjoy Botafumeiro That is Botafumero from Corner Barcelona. What else? What is happening with that brand, by the way? I don't know what's going on. I didn't attend Xcence this year. It just happened. I'm putting on our own show here in San Francisco called ScentFest SF. So I had to stay here. It's around the corner in 3 weeks, and I hope you guys come. And as I said, we have some amazing things happening. And get your tickets right away because it's going to be an awesome show and going to, enjoy a lot of great fragrances. But that's all I have for you guys. Let me know your thoughts on these. Do you buy testers or do you just buy full presentations? I have no problem buying any, I don't mind testers, but my thing is I have to have the cap. So if it says the cap is not there, then I'm skipping it unless I already have that fragrance and the cap is available from the previous and I've used it up. I'm just going to toss the bottle and then I don't. But usually the cap is important. But other than that, I don't mind buying testers. I don't mind getting it like this. I'm happy because that's all I want is the juice. But let me know your thoughts. Add a comment below. Which ones are you going to pick up? And let me know. Add that comment as well. And thanks so much for watching today's video. If you have any questions or comments, please list below. Otherwise, like the video. Please share it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Do some, commenting and participation with the video so it helps with the algorithm of YouTube. And please also don't forget ScentFest SF. I really want to see you guys here. I want to make a great show for you. And you guys are going to have a great time so we can do this ScentFest SF every year. Anyway, guys, thanks so much again. I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one.